Okay. So
Like it
no,
seems like you woke up and it's evening in Hanoi,
yeah, yeah,
right?
you're right. Actually,
And
yeah,
it's
yeah,
not.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Wow,
it's
nine people watching since the start. Insane.
it's 6:20. Um, what can I say? So I live in Asia and I work primarily with Americans and Europeans, at least outside of Notional. And so when stuff gets a little crazy, I end up very, very late. But no, I always make sure to sleep. No, we're good.
But you just woke up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not ideal. I used to, a few years back, I used to go to sleep around 6 a.m., wake up afternoon, and I was living this way, and then I felt like no, it's something wrong because then I couldn't sleep. Right? Like I was going
Well,
to bed.
it's not great from like a sleep cycle perspective, and yeah, we probably
Yes,
think
yes.
with the earth a little bit, but no, I mean things are cool. I'm going on a little vacation this weekend. I'm excited about that.
Oh, where are you going? Sorry, I'm checking
Um,
because I'm. Where is it? It's concerning. There should be one more box. No, I'm checking because I have a lot of Zolpidem with me, which
ah,
is a sleeping medication. I don't take them, but and I also have bromazepam, which is benzodiazepines, which is also I
yeah,
don't take them. They are my emergency
gotcha,
medication.
gotcha. Well,
But I yeah, but maybe I will search for them later. Why is it missing? Huh. Sorry for
I
that.
don't know. I mean,
Someone's
hmm
maybe someone stole because I have two boxes. But
don't know.
yeah,
No, in
sorry.
general though, I sleep pretty well.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, yeah, no, we're good. Actually, you know, I'm not all that phased by by the whale posting that picture and all this other stuff. Because, like, look, like, this has happened before. And actually,
Well,
the
what you're
first,
referring to is the Twitter posts of you stealing the truck and
yeah, yeah,
accusations of you being a pedophile
yeah,
and
yeah. Well,
well, not
that's not happened before.
uh
But
maybe not pedophile, sleeping with underage girls, which I want to just
this
say,
person's going
not
around
all
guessing.
underage girls are in the age that is illegal for the sexual I don't know what's the age in Cambodia, but yeah, like, so you think it's the whale trolls?
What's that? Oh,
So
I do. Yeah, 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 yeah. So, I mean, look, what
do
happened
you have
is
proof?
no, oh no, but I mean, I have opinion, and I have reasons for my opinion. So I started posting that I don't think that CCN should be included in future Cosmos Genesis files.
Hmm.
And then it's not only that sock puppet tweeting, but others as well. And it happened really, really quickly. And like, okay, I don't know how many followers you have on Twitter.
I'm gaining every day, less than you, way less than you.
Oh, okay,
But
okay. So, um, I couldn't imagine. I have some friends. I'm friends with a guy, Jeebus. He's got like a 50 or 100K. Oh, it was 50 before. Maybe it's 100K now. Twitter account, and another dude, not so fast. Who I've met Jeebus in real life, but I haven't met not so fast in real life. And he's got like 100K Twitter followers, and so like it's interesting. Your Twitter account turns into like this informational fire hose, and you can definitely like notice patterns, right? And the almost the moment that I began to speak about, hey, Crescent Hub should probably remove these guys from their Genesis, and Crescent Hub should, because they could end up facing something stupid like this, right? And I mean, this is really a very stupid situation at its core. Um, I kind of feel bad for Wolf, because like he, yes, Prop 16 was really badly flawed, but definitely, what can I say? It was on the right track. Um, Wolf didn't know everything that we now know about CCN. I didn't know everything that we now know about CCN, and yeah, I prefer a Juno that doesn't have them in it.
Okay.
Um, in fact, you know, prior to, I would say prior to like the rejection of Prop 16, and then like, sorry, the rejection of the Unity prop by the whale, not the rejection of Prop 16, the rejection of the Unity prop
Yeah, that was
by the
really bad
whale.
move. I will address
Yeah.
that.
Well, and then furthermore, okay, not only, was that a bad move, the next idea out of the whale was effectively a bribe. Um, and, that demonstrated that they don't plan to give the funds to their users. And okay, so that's it. Like that gets us to like the very, very basic level of like, okay, they're not only acting like a centralized exchange, they're acting like the bad kind of centralized exchange. Um,
Mhm.
you know, if you've been playing cryptocurrency long enough, you've seen this happen. Um, and that's where that phrase "not your keys, not your coins" comes from. It's just a warning to people to not leave anything on a custodial service. And yep, yep, I'm like right with that. So with all that said, I don't really want to talk much today about like you know my mind state after that or stuff like that, because it's actually already happened in Cosmos, where people have tried to use that to attack me. And this one just started throwing in the phrase underage girls like 13 times. And I guess that this is just like, I'm not worried about it.
I
um but it
sorry.
does show us a lot about them.
Yes, and I hope it will not get to your mind because like because I use these videos, I can often troll, I disagree with people, but the evening comes, I close it and I sleep well, right? So
Yeah, yeah.
like it's not the real
Oh,
life.
if you're
I
thinking about the lack of sleep, that's not coming from that.
I'm I hope you're not losing the sleep over this because that's really
No,
important.
the thing I'm losing sleep over is
But
code.
like I'm inviting you because people want you to run this channel now, I think, because I was defending well and I'm still defending well, and all they want, like, it's Jacob. Like, actually Jeff, like, he told me yesterday that me defending well is basically in makes me criminal as well, something like this. Like, it's incriminating myself because it means I want to do the same thing that Whale wants to do, which is like, look, I'm talking to Jacob, who is like, oh, like, I mean, I agree with many stances. The reason why I defend the Whale is because I have this stance, like, it already happened, and Yorkies, your that's it. Like, that's from, like, kind of, I'm trying to, so I'm on the side that if that would be the law, I'm on the side of the law, not the code. Like, so that's it. But there is the things that I believe of the CCN, and I want to address it now, also for,
Mhm.
like,
Yeah.
so I don't know if they do any crimes, and I don't care, like, probably that much.
That is I mean, by the way, that's actually the right attitude. Okay. Um, because that's what keeps Francesco. Yeah, Francesco. I tend to strongly agree with that. Francesco just said in the YouTube comments, like, community is the law. And all right, I think we spoke about this last time, but I'll get into it just a little bit more again. In a Cosmos chain, governance is the God module. Okay, it's the one that's baked down at the lowest level of the stack, and basically, like, in a bunch of different processes in Cosmos, another module will ask the governance module for permission. Okay. And that's why, in terms of this vote, well, was it a little bit of a witch hunt? I would say yes, it was a little bit of a witch hunt, especially at the beginning. Okay. And I think that the community has, yep, that Pierre, that's the stance I take as well. And hey, thanks so much, XRP. Like, eh, how can I put this? I'm very, very lucky to be alive. And that's actually like that influences my outlook. Like, people are like, well, you're just such a happy person. And well, yeah. I mean, I quite literally cheated death.
I
So
want to add, it's really good you
Mhm.
come in with it, because my stance is like, yeah, I stole the track. And it's like, with that, you are kind of unbeatable. They cannot come after you because you admit all that. Like, you are like not hiding, right? So some people think, hey, if we post this, we can come after you. But it's like, hey, I'm after this. It's fine. It happened. That's my life.
Yeah,
That's
so
exactly
I
like,
mean,
it's like
yeah,
some people think they can come this way, right?
yeah, and that's, I mean, it's actually the strategy. So, I mean, ever since that happened, um, people have, asked me about it routinely, and I don't have any problem with that, especially because the people asking me about it are typically investors. Um, you know, and it's interesting because, okay, so 2017, I get out of the mental hospital, and begin, living my normal life. I started going to these Bitcoin meetups in Buffalo because I wanted to get back into the scene, and I was working working in a call center, just kind of trying to get myself back together. And one of these Bitcoin meetups, I met Ralph Lewis. He's founder of a company called, well, I co-founded it with him, but I left in 2019, called Drone Energy. And they produce equipment for Bitcoin mining and provide services to Bitcoin mining companies in the United States. And I remember when we were doing the fundraise for that, the whole truck question came up, of course, right? And the way to handle that was just be really, really direct with the investors. Okay, this is what happened. This is what I've done about it. And this is kind of like my trajectory. I remember going to the degree of like, you know, um, getting a note from a psychiatrist I was seeing, um, basically just explained like their thoughts on the situation, because it is like just totally abnormal, right?
Hmm.
So anyway, that conversation with investors has probably happened 30 times now, and not just doesn't really phase me anymore, right? I do consider it a valid question for them to ask because like it's not great if you Google me. Well, I mean, actually, it is
I
pretty
mean,
great if you Google
I
me.
mean, it's just a
Um,
track. It's just a
yeah,
track.
right.
Like, it's just still a track. It's not a big deal,
Well,
right? It's
I did
old
some kind of
track.
dangerous things with it too.
I mean,
Um, the whole thing is like I'm very, very lucky, right?
yeah.
And at the end of the day, hell, I got married to the woman who like my wife like was instrumental in my surviving all that. Um, and I don't know, it is a bit of like a happily ever after sort of thing. So it's pretty
She's
good, you know.
because she's Cambodian. Is her English very good?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
since the start, she improved with you, or she was like very good English since the start?
No, I mean, her English has gotten way, way better.
Because some Cambodians, they do speak good English, but overall maybe not like, when I was like What is the islands near Sihanoukville?
Oh, faux something
Yeah,
faux.
yeah, yeah. So they
Yeah.
spoke really good English because it's like international place, but in other
Mhm.
places not. Because I was telling you I was in Cambodia, and Cambodia is the
Hey,
place to do stupid stuff. Actually, I was actually tweeting like because that it's like this place is so good. It's like everything is semi legal and semi illegal. Like the weed, like is illegal but legal. Many people don't kind of know it. Like we went to this happy pizza place and we bought a takeaway
yes,
which
of
was like
course, yes. The
half.
the Cambodian weed pizza. I'm familiar.
Yeah, so we got like the
um,
the bunch of weed from there, and for whole week as I was in Cambodia, we just smoke all the time in Angkor Wat, like everywhere. And in Sihanoukville, my friend was like, "Oh, we should get a ketamine for the bus ride." And I never tried ketamine, but we couldn't get. And the guy was like, "No, but he has opium. So okay, let's get opium." So he bought opium. Um, but it was a fake. It was like coffee beans. So I never tried it actually, but it's crazy
yeah,
place.
well,
Like people need to understand
I
Cambodia is
anybody considering going to Cambodia for you know getting blasted, right? I wouldn't
it's
recommend.
interesting
Yeah,
interesting
would, wouldn't
place.
wouldn't
Yeah,
wouldn't really recommend that. It is a really cool place, but I can't go there.
oh, you banned
Actually,
now, or
yes, I am. Yeah, 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 yeah.
right?
For at least another, maybe just a year. Actually,
Yeah.
just another
Oh,
year.
that's not too
Um,
bad. That's not too bad. Yeah.
yes, I was banished from the Kingdom of Cambodia for 5 years. Um, and anyhow, though, like none
Hmm.
of that really phases me. And actually, the challenge right now is software development, and that's actually what I'd like to talk about. Like with respect to Juno and then to Cosmos. And then maybe we can even tie that back into the impact that I see the whale having. So, Juno, what is it? Well, it's a collaboration between a bunch of engineers in Cosmos. There's no conspiracy around Juno. What I mean by this is that, like, it began in a very, very informal way. And I wasn't there at the beginning. I was there for a few weeks after that, I guess. Punzi, we definitely need to have a constitution. And it probably, yeah, Jeff, it does. It does. But, look, people do this, okay?
Sorry, I don't
Um,
want to distract you with people commenting, but I want
no,
to
no,
let
that's
them
all
know
right.
that
That's
we
all right.
see them. Right?
Well,
Is that
let's jump back into the software. But by the way, it does before we do. Oh no, Tarika was pretty dangerous joyriding. One wasn't healthy. Um, yeah, it's true. It's true. So, does anybody have any questions about um, the Juno whale situation? Because I want to kind of jump off of that. And Marcin was like, "Well, your sleep hours have been very weird. Everybody can tell because of Twitter."
I
He's right.
couldn't reach you. I couldn't reach you. I'm like, what if you like just got this to
Oh,
your heart?
the reason you couldn't reach me. Okay, terrible
So
fact.
yeah.
This has happened on. It's like every messaging platform now. Okay, so um, hi, everybody in the audience and in the world. If you can't reach me, I do apologize. And the reason why this happens is so Telegram is flooded to the point of like being useless. I get too many messages to even possibly reply to them all. Discord is the same way. Um, and email is the same way. And then Marcin, the reason you were always easily able to get a hold of me is because you were using Twitter DMs. For whatever reason, that didn't flood until recently, and now it's just like messages everywhere, and so like the notifications just build up. There's pretty much no way I could check them all, And also, when I code, I try and turn all that stuff off. It's so weird. Um, I guess it's not that weird, but like through all of this Cosmos stuff, I don't think I was really a very good programmer. Maybe not a very good programmer now, but like I definitely write a lot of code now. And I enjoy like doing code reviews with my teams and other teams. And like actually I really enjoy just plain writing code. And that, not so much the whale, is what has affected my sleep recently. So I'd like to talk to you guys about like what I'm doing. So Strange Love Ventures. I told the Juno community, and
Should
I want
should
to
we should
apologize.
we end the whale situation like quickly and move
Well,
or
yeah, well, it's a little bit whale related. I want to
oh okay
actually
because people
talk
still
something
asking and
about
I know
me.
you want to go away from this
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
story, yeah.
Well, so check this out, right? Like I was talking about the history of Juno a moment ago, and my introduction to it came from Peng Zhang, CEO of Tendermint, and he just like casually said to me at some point in 2021, early 2021, I was still at Tendermint. Hey, there's a new group of Starport users, and we think this one might be the first to launch to mainnet. Could you like go and check it out? And so I did. Like what ended up happening is that I just joined up with the Juno crew, and it became one of the chains that I somewhat speculatively like made pull requests to, right? So I just kept looking at it, kept contributing code, and then as they booted it up, they asked me to join the Core 2 team. Yeah, let's do it. So I did. Um, and guys, like very, very informal. Okay. Like Juno doesn't really have meetings. Juno doesn't really have planning. Um, Huge gratitude to like the non-technical members of Core One. Um, I really need to say that I think they've done a tremendous job on creating a brand and a vibe around Juno. Um, and I don't think that's necessarily discussed enough. Like that, the brand presence they've created is incredible. And then the other thing that I think really kicked Juno into high gear is there really wasn't a way to buy it. You had to be staking atoms, and then well, all of us are kind of holders, right? We just sort of click that stake button and hold on. Um, so that's that's how Juno came together entirely. Um, Now it was me who wrote the like Juno's original smart contract code. It's not I didn't write like the whole module. I wouldn't be skilled enough to do that. That's some serious Ethan Fry work there right there. What he did is built Cosmwasm, and actually it's pretty stunning what was done to make that contract standard and on the budget that it was done on. I think the first like very serious formal recognition that they got is actually from
Sorry
Osmosis Governance.
Jacob, you might have phone somewhere not that far from the
You're
microphone.
right. Okay, so check it out. Nobody's even calling me, right? Like that's what I
It's
mean by
vibrating a
flooded.
lot, but it's
Yeah,
vibrating a
yeah,
lot,
yeah,
so
yeah.
just
I'll
for
turn the
people.
binger off. Yeah,
Yeah,
the
thank you.
binger's off now. But yeah, like that's what I meant by flooded. That's just like the
Yeah.
normal flow of messages. Um, and when I'm coding, I turn that off. Anyhow, so all right. what am I working on code-wise? Well, of course, working on the Juno upgrades and review of those upgrades. Also, working on modifying the Strangelove Ventures tool lens to be able to wrap the edit validator command. The reason is, so guys, at Notional, we run 23 validator nodes. And I want to change the settings on all of them. First of all, there's kind of like some security concerns around that. Okay, so there are a bunch of different ways to do this, and it wouldn't behoove me to tell you which of them I use, but generating and signing those transactions is time consuming and very time consuming, especially because those are, let's just say you have keys and then you have keys, right? And any of the keys associated with validation are in the second group where they're very, very tightly secured. So actually making those adjustments would take huge time. But Strangelove has Lens, and Lens allows you to interact programmatically with any chain in Cosmos pretty easily. But Lens doesn't support the edit validator command yet. So actually, and this is kind of because of the whale, right? So I decided that Notional was going to lower our commission rate on all our validators, and my phone is binging again. My apologies. How do I make it not
If I want to
bing?
be a validator, can you
Well,
help me? If I want to be a validator, I don't know anything about validating.
I can. Um, I'm failing at that to some degree. Let me tell you about that, okay? So, I've been tweeting out and pretty much shouting from the rooftops, hey, anybody can run a validator. I believe that too. Like Marcin, I definitely think that you can run a validator. I think that it's nowhere near as hard as it's made out to be. And I also think that there's like kind of a perverse incentive to make it mysteriously difficult seeming, right? Because by doing that, existing validators kind of protect their vote power. And your vote power, a validator income is precisely vote power times commission, uh, vote, vote power times inflation emissions times commission. That's exactly what it is on every single chain. And so of course we all want to hoard vote power. And the reason I'm lowering our commissions is that I'm quite sure that I'm not concerned about legal risks in signing a burn block. And I understand that, like, another thing you've got to realize being a validator is it's very weird, right? Because we are colleagues, we do work together, we are competitors. So like imagine that times 150 or 100 or 70, but for every chain, right? So that's what relationships
May I
between
ask you the question? Because I was speaking to you from Notional, I was speaking with the Freight, Needlecast, and there was mentioning of Needlecast was mentioning Rhino, Polkachu, a few more. But I want to ask you if you going up in the rankings recently.
I did. I did.
Okay, and because I
Yeah,
think the same
I even
happened
think
to
I know a Twitter
Needlecast.
account that did it because somebody was like, "I'm gonna delegate to you,"
Yeah,
and then I
so
went, "Whoa!"
I don't know, but like I'm not saying because my channel is small. but because of the more of the social media presence via conversation and validators, by exposing themselves and coming out to the people and showing who they are, they gaining more trust. And I think this, what you're doing right now, coming to the videos, what the Fray decided to do, also being public, outspoken, sharing the
I think
ideas
that's right.
of proposals. Jabi the same, they all growing in the validator ranking. So
Yeah.
I think it's really important for validators to be actually known and public. And the reason why I'm asking about this, because I view the validators as the sort of also the political parties. It's quite important to maybe sometimes choose the validator that would align with your values, because let's say you will vote certain way, like you can people can predict how will you vote on the certain proposals. And with this, in case they are like, hey, I might not be able to always vote, I'm delegating to Jacob because he will vote the same way that my moral values align with, right? So
Interestingly,
yeah,
this is another driver of the decision to lower notionals commissions. Look, historically, we had high commissions because of relay. It is an expensive thing to do. 5%. We're going down to 5%. We're going to cut it all the way down. If after like 2 months or something, we're like earning less, I may review that decision. So I just want for everybody to know that, like, yes, 5%. And, there is some question about, like, well, would we raise it if we made less? The answer is yes. But the feedback I'm getting from a number of pretty experienced people is like, well, no, if you went down to 5%, that would more than double your vote power. And all right, I don't know. I'll try it out. Let's see how it goes. But like, actually, it is the political aspect that's kind of driving that. Like, I'm very happy to have high vote power on a burn block on Juno. Um, I know that some people are concerned about that, and actually, like, you mentioned Needlecast, and dude, like, they're great. Okay. Um, and I think that they kind of take a differing position from myself on, shall we say, the challenges associated with a burn.
mhm,
And guys, this is why we have lots of validators, right? Because nobody really knows. Nobody has any clue, um, for sure. If because I'm seeing it even in two ways, right? So if we know that there's an unethical actor and we don't do something about it, is there a liability there? If and then flip side, right? If we take action against somebody we think is a bad actor, and we do something about it, how is that going to be considered? And there's both of those there. So um I guess that, anyhow, the way that I decided to look at this is just like, no, actually, this really is highly political. It matters to have the high vote power, to be able to represent the piece of the community, that has high conviction on this burn. I supported 4. I supported 16. And guys, 16 was pretty broken. Part of me feels that I should not have supported 16. And I want to be really, really clear about that, actually. So I think that Wolf was probably right to post 16, but the wording in 16 was super, super broken. Um, it described the situation as gaming. Airdrop wasn't gamed. That snapshot was taken a long time before Juno launched. It's probably not the one that we should have used. Um, but it is what it is, right? The reality is that there's this entity, CCN, that is effectively a custodian or centralized exchange. We were really, really clear on what we wanted in Genesis. I can tell you, I have no doubt that's what we did not want in Genesis. And then, in addition to that, I know because I'm one of the people who tried. Okay, I tried to reach out to them. Okay, and I have had conversations with Takumi, and as everybody probably knows, I've published those. And I know that other members of Core 1 and Core 2 have tried. Okay. So, like, we've tried to talk to Whale and be like, yo, you need to give that to users because then you don't threaten governance. You don't have a monolithic block of stake. But I'm not seeing anything there. And so I do think that in the current state, like CCN is a threat to governance. And anyhow, that's how I ended up digging into the Cosmos SDK. I have to make sure various function calls are exported so that they can be used from Lens. And once that's done, I'll be able to update all my validator commissions and stuff. I've just decided to not do it in a one by one manner. I'll do all 23 at once I have Lens properly modified. And then I'll be able to submit a patch to a really, really cool tool from Strangelove. That's, guys, Strangelove is Jack Zamplin's validator company, or just Jack.
Who also had different stance on some matters with you, and is great validator, right?
Oh yeah,
because we are mentioning Needlecast, who had different stance, and
he's a great validator. All right, he's an awesome community contributor. Like,
yes.
uh,
I can I say something? I wanted, like, because I dropped the message because there was a few days ago there was like some difficult time. I think everyone felt exhausted and acted
yeah, yeah,
emotionally, right? And what I understand, Jack left the Core One chat, and many people were okay. Let's leave it. But
no, no,
I,
no,
wa-
no,
I,
no.
wa- I want to,
I have a comment. I have a comment on
but I
this.
want to say that I learned, like, Jack is the really gem in the Cosmos ecosystem, because if I would have to point one person that was most vocal and the one person that was spreading most of the information about Cosmos, it was Jack. Like, you could see the Jack interviews in the past 2 years. It's dozen of the interviews with various influencers, smaller, bigger. I tried to reach him and I couldn't get him on, but I did learn a lot of things from him. He's responsive on Twitter. He's willing to talk, and there was not many people in the Cosmos ecosystem that were actually doing a lot of interviews. So I think that Jack is really great part of great face of the Cosmos. Glad he's in Juno. And really, like, I'm happy to support him via delegating the tokens to him, right? I think you froze. Okay. I was like, oh, you are with this shocked face over I talk. And Jacob, I think you need to rejoin. I was scared that Jacob made this face because of what I was talking. Let me message him. Uh, I messaged to him that I think he dropped out. It shows me that he lost the the connection, right? So yeah. Yeah, if you guys he will join soon. If you guys don't know Jack Zampolin, um Jack Zampolin is core developer of the Cosmos blockchain, and he was also part of the core one of Juno, and he's also co-founder of Sommelier. So yeah, like Jacob is bad.
There we go.
you
And we're
you
back.
you froze at a very special moment when you did a scary face, like kind of like and it was like, oh, it was reaction to what I said about Jack, right?
Ah, okay. Well, look. My Jack story is he taught me IBC, and like at a huge.
Oh, you're freezing again. Yeah. Well, sorry guys for that. I hope we will get through this. Hopefully it's just some few minute issues with the internet on the Jacob side. Maybe some maintenance. Free to ask some questions in this period, because when I'm focused on discussing on some issue. Um, when it comes to my stance, let's on the whale. Well, I'm sorry, Jeff. So Jacob is not part of the NETA. I'm not sure the NETA was done. I'm pretty sure behind NETA is probably Demi or Wolf, right? Because they are behind the smart contract of NETA. It's been suffering a little bit recently, but I'm holding it, and I think it will just come. I think there is some
Oh,
internet issues
yeah.
at your spot, right?
Yeah. So I'm at home right now. Not at the office like usual. Don's from Poland, and my ancestors
Yes.
are from Poland too.
And oh, that's cool. You should
Yeah.
visit. My friend Pedram says Whale did nothing wrong.
The whale did nothing wrong. Ah, well, okay. Here's what the whale did wrong. It's certainly not what was said in Prop 16. Okay, the whale hasn't distributed funds to users. It's super unethical. It's like,
Yeah,
guys,
but it's no crime because there was no contract, right?
well, actually, I believe they do have contracts with their users.
But not that they received the Juno airdrop.
Yeah. I mean, that may be true, but you know what?
Yeah.
Um, look, we're exploring like the edge of what is possible, and I totally don't think that CCN has treated their users right. And like, okay, so Bitcoin is indifferent to that, and it's indifferent to that like at a really, really low level, right? Um, you can't do anything about that. And people, I just want you to know, like, I mean, I'm still today part of that Bitcoin mining company that I helped start. So like, I left the employee team, but I'm a part of it. I'm a stakeholder, and I love Bitcoin. I wouldn't want to ever like modify the state of the Bitcoin blockchain or anything like that. But here's the thing: this isn't Bitcoin. This is Cosmos, and we absolutely can make these state modifications, and like we've created the mechanisms to do that. And one of the crappiest things that many of us have seen many, many times in crypto is like the old exchange rug pull trick. And Sir, who says Whale did nothing wrong, nah, that's wrong. I'm sorry, like that's just wrong. Um, they could have chosen at any time, even before Prop 4, to distribute funds to users, but didn't. And to me, it just makes it pretty cut and dry. Like that, no, that's definitely wrong. Exchanges should not rug pull people's cash. And are they exactly an exchange? No, they're like
But
an MLM. Uh, they're an MLM investing club, let's
yeah.
say. Um, and like they uh, mm, should uh, they should act like a club, right? They should take care of their people. But they're not doing that. And so like that's what drives me to take action here. Um and anyhow, yeah, that's so this gets into why has Jacob been awake? Well, Jacob's been awake at weird hours because Jacob is modifying the code to lens so that he can update commissions across 23 validators with ease, and then also contribute that back to the community. Guys, if you're just learning to code, there are a lot of like the stuff that I'm doing for Lens. Like, in fact, Marcin, if you want, next time we do this, we could walk through the code. It's not so hard.
I just don't know anything about coding, right? I should probably learn a little bit before that.
Ah, don't matter.
So,
It's
but
like really well because it's English, right?
but
So you can
I'm
read
happy
it.
to do that. So you can like also explain what's happening. So that would be quite insight what's going on.
Oh my god! I just realized something.
Yeah,
Oh, that's very interesting. You don't know. I know, but you don't know about the God module.
I
And
don't.
this could like greatly change people's opinion on the whale situation because it's quite likely that yeah, you don't have any clue that like how deeply the I'm trying to see if I can share
You can share
just
the
my
screen. You can share the screen.
VS Code
Below
window.
chat, there should be a share
And
screen.
yeah,
And
yeah, I got that. And then I'm just opening up like a fresh VS Code, and we're gonna
Mhm.
open up the code for the Cosmos Hub, which is already on my computer.
I want to say I exchanged some messages. Oh, you were with Chili Validator. Do you know them?
Chidi?
Chili Validator. Chill
No.
Validate. Sorry, Chill Validator.
Oh, Chill Validator. I do know them. So
Yes, they
they're
side in
they're
with Whale. They're very nice actually, but they just speak about cultural differences and but I was messaging with them. You know, they are.
well, I mean, that's their right, absolutely,
Yeah, I mean
Are
they are because they were saying like they come from a different place, like as the you who were joined in the like early days Cosmos, but them coming after the Juno was already established, so with like a little bit different perspective. They had different. I think they have similar stance of well, uh, which I have, which I believe the CNN is bunch of kids that don't necessarily know what to do, and they are stupid enough to not understand that the burn will happen if they don't collaborate. Um,
mhm.
so that's the idea with them because one day they declined a really good offer of locking up their funds in the smart contract, and the next day they come up and offer giving it to Juno community. It doesn't make sense, but they're like 25 years old. I don't think they like. I'm also pretty sure how they were selling atoms to their customers was not
Whoa.
by. Yeah, it's good. um
Yeah.
so I don't know if the Jacob, but my opinion is on like CNN that the way that the CNN was recommending the Cosmos to the users was probably telling them this is like better Bitcoin or something like that.
Um.
Yeah,
hmm.
I was saying about CNN that I believe they're like just not very clever kids, 25-year-old. They were probably selling the atoms in the like not even explaining what atom is, but probably like just saying that this is way better than Bitcoin.
Yeah.
I'm,
Am
I'm
I
pretty sure that's
able?
how
Am
it
I
worked.
able to? Am I able to close the browser and then click the link and rejoin smoothly, or no? Because I have to give the browser permission to.
Yeah. You will be able to join under the same link. I will wait
Okay.
here. I think it's pretty.
About 1 minute, please, because what I'm
Yeah,
gonna do is I'm gonna give the browser permission to record my VS Code window.
no worries, no worries.
I'll show you the God module. One
Mhm,
second.
mhm. Uh, oh, I also need to give permissions. I was thinking, I'm like, I had permission, and I don't know why suddenly I need permission. Okay. check. Seems I have no permissions. Okay, I was able to share the screen, but now it also seems I don't have permissions, which is pretty annoying to share my screen, because I wanted to share with you what the chill validation said. They say they like Jacob, but I wanted to give you this stance. I actually wanted to share our chat. Um, they said they are not good enough to debate Jacob. I think Jacob is very solid with the words. But I just want to give you the stance. In all fairness, I think Jacob dealt with the whale at the time that we didn't. So it would make sense that Jacob has a different basis steaming all the way since the Cosmos days. Where as we entered more around the Juno time, so our interaction with the whale is naturally different. In any case, we don't really factor in the how good the whale is, whether MLM, Ponzi, or Angel. We don't discriminate against minorities either. As far as Jacob trying to fix up future Genesis files, sure, give us all some peace. And I agree with that. And I think my stance is very close to Genesis, that I don't really factor how good the well is, whether it's MLM or Ponzi, because I think that's irrelevant to the situation we are now. I think that it's more go down to the questions if we should be able to do it or not. So despite the chili, I know maybe you're on the chat. I know you're not into like comment on the chat, but I think it's good to share your stance. Um I don't really think they are on the side like of the whale, because they don't earn them take 10k Juno a day. So you're wrong. Okay. I
Yeah,
also
yeah,
don't
yeah,
have
yeah.
permissions to share, but you will be able to share now. So it's
Yep. I think. Let's see here. Yep. Okay. Cool. All right. So I'm gonna pull up the code for the Cosmos Hub. The file we're gonna look at is called app.go, and it's the main file in any Cosmos chain. And the reason I want to show this to the audience, and I'll probably hop off in a couple of minutes, but the reason this is worth seeing is that guys, like, listen, in Bitcoin, you don't have this, and that's very intentional. But in Cosmos, you have this, and it's very intentional. So,
Jacob, before you share it, right? Like
uh-huh.
so there is, let me, this way or this way, or no, this way,
Oh, how
no,
you want to
no, no, no,
arrange
no,
it? You might want
this
to make it
way.
the whole thing. Yeah, yeah, there you go.
I just want to ask, so before, because I was listening to the game of nodes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so you have the Coinbase, and Coinbase is the validator also, right, on the Cosmos
Yeah,
network.
yeah, yeah. Well, Coinbase Cloud. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yep.
But do you think that Coinbase has more wallets than this one? Well,
Yeah, they
oh,
do.
hello, the
And
child.
we do not airdrop on Coinbase, right? That's like not something we do. And there's very, very
But
good
yeah,
reasons
like,
for that.
so I want to say, so do you think the Coinbase has also other wallets where they keep
Mm,
the staked atom, or just one?
I don't know.
So because
Um,
the argument is Coinbase has probably plenty wallets where they stake atom, but we know of one. So the thing is,
I see what you're saying.
the same with Binance, the same with Kraken.
Honestly, no. Yeah, no. I'm gonna come down
So
on no.
you think they just have one wallet and risk it all in one wallet? Or do you think they have
Um,
validator wallets and the other wallets where they keep the custody and state
okay, okay.
tokens?
Would you like an accurate, like, in-depth answer? Because I have one.
Hmm.
Um, so, all right. I don't know if you've ever used like Binance for Atom, but when you
Yeah,
do,
yeah,
you
yeah.
have to use a little like number code, right? You know, the deposit code.
Hmm.
You know what I'm talking about? You have to put it in the
Hmm.
memo.
Hmm.
Okay. So Coinbase, you don't need to use one of those. And what that means is that Coinbase has, on behalf of their clients, an interesting little topic. Coinbase must have tons of wallets, but I don't know how long they've been doing that for. And you're a can of worms. You're a can of worms. I like
What?
it.
What?
Well, we say can of worms when somebody opens up an issue.
Yeah, because that was interesting, but because the thing is,
Well, no, check this
yeah,
out. Check this
go on,
out.
go on.
From what I know about how Coinbase works for Cosmos, you could be right. Um, and the best approach, sir, in my opinion, because Coinbase also has a staking service. So and I don't know, like, what I don't know is what was the status of all this stuff at Coinbase at the time that, for example, the Juno snapshot was taken. Okay. And then I also don't know, um, like, about future snapshots. And then I also don't know, many exchanges create a deposit address, okay? But after, so say I want to deposit atoms on Coinbase, right? Well, I know for sure that every user has a unique address, okay? And other exchanges don't work that way. That's why you need to have that little tracking code in the memo that ensures that it's routed to you, okay? And some exchanges, after you send to your deposit address, they'll move to like an aggregator address. And I don't know if Coinbase does that. And you have opened up a can of worms. This is a worthy inquiry.
I want to give the shout out to the game of notes. They
Okay.
actually they actually touch it and it made me thinking because the Coinbase might be silent Juno whale somewhere there. That we,
Um,
I mean, they could have hundreds of Juno wallet. I mean, they could have on the date of snapshot.
even more so focus on Osmo, which emphasize smaller accounts. But
Yes,
we
and
would have to
probably
track, we would have to track the on-chain movement of funds uh, after they hit Coinbase. But I just want to like run through the whole God module thing, and then I
mhm,
probably got to jump off. But like,
yes.
okay, so in Cosmos, we build a chain from modules. Right, this is Gaia, the Cosmos hub, right, and this is app.go, and that's like the main file. Okay, so what do we got here? All these, see, like, auth- authorization, auth-z, bank, capabilities, crisis, distribution, evidence, fee grant, Genesis utility, governance, mint, params, slashing, staking, upgrade, transfer, IBC core. Um, this is the IBC,
Host.
the host. And okay, take through all that, right? And you get one Cosmos Hub. Liquidity module. This is the exchange on the Cosmos Hub. Okay. All right. Now we go down. Check this out. Here's all the modules entering what we call the module manager. Okay. So this like loads them into a thing that allows you to access them easily other places in the application. And well, it's not all that easy. Anyway, look, Gov is special. Notice that Gov is sitting here. It consumes um, a number of other modules. Okay, this params client proposal handler, what that is that's it handles the governance proposals for any of the parameters of the chain. Distribution client proposal handler. That's like staking rewards are handed out through the distribution module. Upgrade client proposal handler. Oh, well, that's actually what would explode the whale if we do. Upgrade client, cancel proposal handler. Sometimes you plan an upgrade, you need to cancel it. This allows governance to do that. IBC client. Yes, we put the word client twice because reasons. Anyhow, there are a number of governance proposals related to IBC that you can put in there. Okay. So what I'm trying to show, right? This is a pretty good illustration of governance as king, but like let's check this out a little more deeply. Okay. So if we go down to the places where we add the keepers, and guys, the keepers are basically like this controls how a module stores something to the blockchain. Bear in mind, we've now left Bitcoin territory. First of all, Bitcoin does not have specialized functions like what you just saw that are broken up into modules. Bitcoin is just money. I love that about Bitcoin. Okay. But like, I like different types of ice cream too, right? Um, and so what I mean is like, Bitcoin's one blockchain, Cosmos Hub is another blockchain. I like them both, but they are really, really different. So we shouldn't confuse well, Bitcoin's probably quite vanilla, and then this is maybe more like one of those. I don't know if you've ever heard of Ben and Jerry's, and they put all kinds of crazy stuff in the ice cream, and it's very fancy. It's good. Or a less plain experience. Okay, so what we can see here, right, is that like, okay, good example. Coming we're down to the distribution module. All these other ones, they'll actually like explicitly. Here, probably should get down to. Yeah, look at this. Like the governance router. Okay, it loads up all the different govprop types from all the different modules. It's those modules that call governance. Okay. Among other things, governance can stop the chain, guys. Like, it's meant to be authoritative. So the immutability response to all this, and on also the I'm concerned about legal liability response to all this, it doesn't make sense to me because we can see very clearly that Cosmos chains are designed to put governance in control. And like no other module in one of these chains is like elevated to the degree that governance is. Now, yes, this actually does raise philosophical questions, right? It might even be like inherently philosophical.
So what your claim is that the code is purely designed that the governance above all, and this is why there would be no legal liabilities for anyone because it states in the code from the start. So anyone who has the argument otherwise, look, the code was here and the code stated that the governance will decide, right?
So that is absolutely correct. Yes.
Mhm.
That is the way that the code in Cosmos works. And like, let's see, there we go. I stopped the screen share there, but like, so it's really explicit that governance controls various other modules, and I guess the only thing that I feel like about 16 was super flawed, and I voted yes on it. And you want to know how I feel about that? I'll show you. Yeah,
What's the situation? Because I know the core is split. Now it's not core 1 and not core 2, right? It's all together also, or it's still some. But it's
yeah,
it's
we've
it's
never been all
really,
that organized.
I think it's really difficult situation because the core was willing to speak and was like, here, look, this is good compromise. We think the community will accept that. And well, it's like, nah. It's
Yeah,
like, bro, don't. It's like, sir, don't fuck yourself over. That was it.
oh,
Don't.
the whale? Yeah, yeah.
Just,
Well, I mean, yeah, the
I
well,
was like,
but
why?
it's like, remember, the whale says they have other people's Juno. Okay, so it's not the whale fucking themselves over; it's the whale fucking their users over, and that's why I like briefly suggested, oh, I don't know, I'll just go to Japan, right? And I meant it, 100%. I mean, I even talked to my wife about it. Like, Peppy, what if we went to Japan for a month, right? And she was like, "Can we go to Mount Fuji?" And I'm like, "Yeah, we'll figure it out." But like, and then right after that, the whale rejected the unity proposal, and I was like, it just doesn't seem that good. And then I talked about cleaning future Genesis states, and all of a sudden you got a bunch of sock puppets and stuff. And nah, I'm not gonna be going to Japan to cavort with whale. But just to anybody who's like, oh, you can't do that in cryptocurrency. Well, no, you can't do that in Bitcoin. You shouldn't do that in Bitcoin. I could run you through the code in Bitcoin that like locks it into some sort of anarchy. Okay. And that's a beautiful thing too. I really don't want to assert that, like, oh, Cosmos is plainly better. This is the best, perfect way to write a chain. Um, I am and remain like a Bitcoin monetary maximalist. What I mean by that is, like, guys, yes, I've read the book, The Bitcoin Standard. Yes, I've had dinner with that Seyfedina Moose guy, who is maybe a little overly provocative in what he says, but then again, I found his book really, really influential. Okay, like, and actually, I should probably say I probably agree with about 90% of the stuff that he wrote in his book. And I don't think that Cosmos tokens are money. I think they're valuable. They're valuable as an expressive voice. Now, check this out, Marcin.
But
I
people
would
still
even argue
speculate on them, and that's why probably it make the.
that's not the value. Oh, no. No, the value is way more complicated and
Mhm.
weird. Ready? No, the value of a Cosmos token is very clearly that code that I just showed you. It's your ability to participate in governance, stake weighted. That's why they have value. That's how you choose your validator. That's how a validator enters the set. And that's how governance proposals are passed. Like, it's those governance functions that give it value. And in the Juno case, yeah, that's why I want to protect governance. Like, absolutely, CCN can influence the governance on Juno. And guys, that's why I was so heavily in favor of 4. Okay.
Mhm.
When we did 4, I knew far, far less about the situation. Far less. Okay. But I was still in favor. Why? Because that single airdrop recipient definitely, definitely, definitely posed a threat to governance. And like, if you'd like, we can like read through the governance module one day, which is pretty interesting. and even contains like future plans for governance, like for example, punishing validators if they don't vote. I think that's a good thing. I think that at the very least, validators should be voting abstain on everything. But I actually think that it's better. Like, okay, check this out. Some people on this whale issue, which has been super divisive, some validators voted no with veto, right? I think Figment did.
I also voted no.
You voted no with veto. All right, so check
After
this out.
I went from yes to no with veto, but people hate me for this. Man, I shared our chat on the Discord, and the response like, "Yeah, we love Jacob, but you are cringe as fuck." Like, I'm having no community love whatsoever.
Well, listen, I don't hate you for it. In fact, like that's the kind of discord that's kind of discourse that I want. Specifically, like I was saying, some validators voted no with veto, right? And I prefer that.
Oh no! Why now? Why now? I will finish the Jacob thought. He was saying I prefer them. Said I prefer them than those who voted abstain. There was few. I can tell you who voted no with veto. The first one, I think, was Crypto Crew validators, and they wrote whole very long post about it. And it was it. I must say this post was quite influential over my decision. Then later, about after the Needlecast found some flaws in the proposal, they also changed, and I think Polkachu as well. So there was that. Okay. But I want to tell you my role. Despite me having the opinions, I will be willing to host everyone who has something to say, because texting with Jacob. So like I mean, you just don't have to like really be angry at me because I just voted. Yeah. Okay. Uh, okay. Jacob will not come. His internet, but he will be happy to do it over the weekend. Once again. Yeah, I guess must be bad. Um, so yeah, the reason I vote the certain way doesn't need to like make you angry. I want to remind everyone it's just the internet. Um, Jacob said, Chili validator. I was just chatting because some people attacked. We don't support the well more than we would support any other person of whom the community was trying to burn funds via chain mutation. The role of validators is to protect chain data with delegated stake, not use delegated stake power to modify it. Would be happy for the whale reach a deal, unstake the delegation to us, and distribute to fund investors for them to individual stake as they wish to all validators. We would be happy with many more individual delegators. Of course, delegators can vote as they wish because the roles are different. We have nothing against delegators vote in any way they feel proper. Many validators support the immutability of Juno as long-term fundamental, even if they don't especially like what the whale does. It protects everyone into the future. So just to finish, like I don't really like the whale, and I don't like what the whale does, but because I voted a certain way, people like consider me as the sucker of the whale, right? It's not, I don't like, I'm not friend with him and I have no relationship, but it's just pretty the stance of chill validation is my stance. But if you disagree with it, that's okay, because we can use the voting power. What the Now I wish I want to be resolved because I have many Junos and the price keep diving. The irony still infuriates me. Mass comparing Trudeau to Hitler like it was nothing. I don't like the Hitler comparison. So you guys, there's actually uh it's Godwin law. Oh, maybe not. Yeah, Godwin's law. So I always ignore every Hitler connections. The Godwin laws, you can Google it yourself, states that the longer conversation goes on the internet, it's 100% chance that someone will mention Hitler. You know, I'm not recommending the price. Sorry for everyone who loses money. I'm not losing. I'm still like 4x on my Juno, right? So I'm far away. My tolerance is here, like, so I didn't receive the stake. I bought it soon after the launch. And the thing I was discussing with, because it seems that the Coinbase could have a lot of micro accounts. So the Juno was the stake drop, so it did require the um staking to receive the Juno airdrop, but Osmo did not. And I think Coinbase could have hundreds, maybe even thousands of these micro Atom accounts. Who knows? So they could be like kind of Osmo hell. Um, and you see, in this situation, they also did not distribute the funds to the customers. So I think it's important to know that the Coinbase or maybe other exchanges also doing the similar practices. And I would still vote no on like taking away any funds if that would happen, that the Coinbase owning that, right? So it's not the so I will be finishing that. um was glad for Jacob coming. I think he's quite busy. I will bring Jacob more on the channel because you do like Jacob. I know you like listening to Jacob, but I also want to cover some other stuff. So I hope we will finish with the well situation. um So Alejandro, but yeah, like when you were depositing like atoms, I think you had your own Atom account on the Coinbase. So probably the Coinbase did receive tons of Osmo. But the thing, the airdrops are not in the contracts. They didn't take people's. So the fact that you kept your Atom in the Coinbase custody, you have your atoms, but there was no contract between you or like receiving the probably the Osmo airdrop. We don't know, and I don't think we will ever find out. So yeah, what I want to do on this channel is just chat, share different opinions, including my own, which you might not like sometimes. But look, I think it's better to be this way than to be like some really like just all in bullish guy that stand with one opinion, because that doesn't allow the space for discussion. And I don't really want to be this AKA sponsored channel on the bullish, but I just want to learn myself. So I use this channel as the learning platform for me as well. I learn together with you by listening to Jacob, by listening to the Fray from Needlecast, by listening to Tobias from SG1 Validator, who is run partially by Wolf Contract. So I do allow many different opinions. Of course, Jeff, I like you. I like every viewer. I actually responded to your comment. Maybe you shouldn't watch my channel if you think I'm a criminal. But it's like easy discussion. I don't really get that angry. And, I'm in minority. So whatever you guys want, your wish will be fulfilled. I do think that Juno might suffer, price wise, I don't know. You know, of course I'm not happy because I'm also losing money. Like, like if we like money, if you stake for money, it's also me. So despite me having opinion, I'm also losing the Juno with you, right? Like, I'm not Juno, the value in that would be denominated in US dollars. But I want to there's many great people building on Juno, right? Like, there's Jacob that I just spoke. There is the Frey from the Needlecast that has the name service, which I absolutely love because it's very different from the name services that we had on the other platforms. And he's not only a great builder, but seems also a great uh, negotiator. Um, there's Jack Zampolin, and there's many great builders, and this is reason why I'm in Juno. I don't want the fork, but I'm in Juno because of these reasons. Sorry for everyone who bought on the top because it never feels great, but I did buy things at the top myself. There is another project that seems to have like really some. Uh, hmm, I have a little bit of the tree here. It smells like a forest. Oh, it won't be able to show some spices. Um, so I'm bullish on the, and we have of course Pupmos, right, coming very soon. So that's great, but I don't know how the price will perform. I'm quite fascinated with this new app Fortis or Economia. I want to give you some insights into this. So I invited the people from the Fortis for the interview, and I think they will join. So this seems like so far the most interesting app being built on Juno when it comes to DeFi. Um, I'm using this. Also, this is not recommendation because I don't know if it will be rack. I wanted to ask Jacob about the code. I wanted to learn more. Um, and the compounding is insane. So I want to give some insights into this platform. But for now, this is finished. So thank you everyone for joining. I'm willing to talk to everyone, regardless of opinions, because it's fun to talk and it's fun to learn. So thank you everyone for watching. Well, I hope for the best. I hope for the best. Also, I don't know personally the Max from Juno. The Max who help people on the Discord. But this guy for 5 months respond each question every day, regardless if question is stupid or not. It just show you how great people are in the Juno. So thank you, and until the next time.